Origin here, and John as well, keying everything in last minute that I gave him 5 minutes before the stream, because that's what we do. And Andy, of course, from Brown Foreman, Jack Daniels National Brand Ambassador. Is that I always get the title wrong.
Yeah, that's it. Jack Brand Ambassador Australia.
Yeah,
Done.
so we've got a pretty exciting, eclectic Jack Daniels lineup, which I've chatted to Andy quite a bit about over the last few weeks leading up to this, but basically just on their casks and how much different Jack Daniels there is to choose from, which I've never looked at, because Jack Daniels is a pretty prominent brand just on its own, number 7. So it's going to be good fun going through that. And the reason we are putting this together is Tennessee Whiskey Day on Thursday the 21st, and Andy's birthday on the 22nd. So this week is a write-off with Jack Daniels. So happy early birthday. Fun to you, mate.
Why, thank you. What a lucky couple of days for me.
Yeah, indeed, because you haven't drank enough, Jack. But also before we kick into it, Andy has graciously donated a couple of bottles that we're going to give away. We're going to give away a single barrel proof rye. Woo! And it's this one, yeah. So the one you've got, whoever's got tasting back, 64.75%. Pretty insane. And we're going to give away a bottle of the Jack Daniels Blackberry, a full one this time, which is yeah. Unless Andy opens it, that's not on me.
I won't open it, guys.
Yeah, to win these, we wanted to do a poll because with Restream we can't do a poll, so we've actually made a poll live on our Facebook group page, and John's got a QR code up on the screen there that you can scan if you want to, or you can just go straight to our group page. And basically, all you're going to do is vote for your favorite Jack on the lineup for tonight. And those at home who didn't get a pack, by all means, feel free to vote what you've tried before. And then obviously just head across to our stream and like and watch along. And if you do those two things, if you don't have a pack, you get 5 tickets in the draw. If you do have a pack, you get 10 tickets in the draw. So I think that's about as hard as hi everyone. I think that's about as hard as it gets. And for that prize, when we generate that one, you'll get a bottle of the single barrel proof rye. The other one is a little bit easier. All you got to do is watch along and ask some questions, like type them into the comments, your favorite tasting notes of the lineup as we go through them. If you've got some Jacks at home that you can line up with what we're doing tonight or something very similar, that'll be good fun. Jump in, have fun with us. That's what we're here for. And Andy is going to choose the winner of that, which they'll get that partially drank Jack Daniels Blackberry that he's got right there.
There'll be a minimum 40% left
after tonight. So I've rattled on long enough. Thank you all for joining, like always, jumping on the panel and tasting sets as well. I'm really looking forward to going through this lineup. But first and foremost, while you start to take it away, Andy, I might make myself a little Jack and Coke.
I am going to join you.
Oh, sweet.
What a cute little package to come out. Anyone that was on our Jack Daniels stream last time got this pairing. Match made in heaven, the world's favorite cocktail, Raymond.
I agree.
And now, is this one serve? This whole bottle is like one serve?
Is your name? If your name's Ray Daniel, yes. If not, then...
right. Okay, just clarifying.
I suppose it is a good time to mention, Ray. It's an American serve, right? Between 50 and 60 mils, but when you're over there, they do this.
Yeah, they do.
Sort of cut it off when they feel like it. But
they count, right? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. How big are the elephants, basically? Yeah, exactly. But just a boring reminder, but a necessary one. We're doing 7 whiskeys, so keep your waters up, please. Thanks, Nick. Please make sure you keep your waters up, and hope you've all had dinner. Don't feel any pressure to finish all the samples. We are trying some very rare whiskeys, but also, Ray, we've got some pretty high proof ones as well. So it's going to be fun, but keep your waters up, guys, while we taste along, please.
And you can't at home. So if you don't keep your water up, then I'm sure you'll be fine. Well, sometimes you can't get kicked out of your own home. Depends how you perform, I guess.
Very true.
It's called the dog.
The doghouse. It is. We're all familiar. Just a precursor to what we're going to cover, and I think Ray will kind of, between Ray and John, thank you both, by the way, for organising this. There's some incredible work in putting these packs out, organising all of this, and of course running the platform, shooting out the EDMs. It's a huge job, so a huge thank you to Ray in particular, and John, you guys are rock stars. And to any of our Tennessee Squires that are watching along. I think we've got 3 on the screen, to my knowledge, at the moment. Jason, Davey Boy, Ray, and any Tennessee Squires that we have that are joining this virtual. Thank you for everything you guys do for the brand. I frequently refer to myself as a brand ambassador, but the real brand ambassadors are the Tennessee Squires. So thank you if you guys are on there. I've already seen Nick Ferner in the comments. I know a bunch of you guys will be online, so here's a toast to you guys with our Jack and Coke.
Indeed.
Tennessee Squires.
So, Andy, are you a squire? Surely you're a squire.
No. All right. So it's a very good question. There is one Tennessee Squire in Brown-Forman, the company that I work for, and his name's Scott Christie. And he was a squire for many, many years before joining Brown-Forman. And it's a pretty incredible... yes, Ross, but you can get it out of the tap. Thank you.
I tried to fit it, and it wouldn't fit.
It's very distracting, but also worth answering that. Yes, cheers, Nick. So
send all your empty ones of these back. If you can, send them all back to me, and I'll fill them with water. So the next Jack, I'll make sure you get a water in your pack.
That's a bad idea.
Perfect.
I prefer to come back in Jack, though.
Now I can't remember what I was talking about, but I'm sure it was really...
Tennessee Squire used to work at Brown-Forman. Scott
Christie. So he was a squire before he joined Brown-Forman, but if you work for Brown-Forman or the Jack Distillery, you can't be a squire. I think it's just one of the lays of the land, one of the rules. And so I've already asked Davey and Ray, now even Jason, as you know, if one stage I move from Brown-Forman or leave the Jack Daniels employ, I'll be leaning on one of you guys to ask me and nominate me to be a squire, which is also a very exciting prospect for my next chapter. But for now, yes, squires.
I think though, if you were really committed, if you were really, devoted to Jack Daniels, you'd quit your job for a week, become a squire, and then, try to get your job back.
Mr. Jarvis.
Long service leave. 3 words. So no, but I am very dedicated, but I think getting to rub shoulders with Squires week in, week out shows me that, in some ways I am a squire, but it's awesome to rub shoulders from the Jack Daniels side. And I think whenever that tenure is over or the next chapter comes, I'll be very happy to be on the other side as well. So it's, you can only hold this mantle for a certain amount of time, and we'll see. I'll be looking at you guys to nominate me, hopefully.
I don't think you have a problem once you finish.
Thank you, mate. All right, Raymond.
Yes,
so
sir.
the order that we're going to be tasting through,
Yes.
for anyone that's on the virtual, I hope you're as excited as we are at looking at the lineup. A couple of these products are very hard to find. Where we start with the Gold 27, it's becoming more and more hard to find. The Sinatra Select is a very fancy dram. I'm sure there's a couple of squires and you at home that have a couple of bottles. But for everyone else, it is increasingly difficult to find. And it is more on the expensive side as well. The American Single Malt Oloroso, this is a travel retail exclusive. So you've got to be flying in and out of the country or know people that Ray knows. And you can kind of get your hands on that one. You know me. And then Single Barrel Proof Rye, very exciting. I've been having conversations with the team back at the United States. Thank you, Carla. I don't want to go either. Carla runs our Jack Daniels glass for the country. So she is in the Jack Daniels team, and we love working together. We had a Formula One was our project together. Carla was an absolute rock star and put that all together. So yes, I will not leave, Carla. I promise I will never die. And then lastly, just to finish off, I guess, a quick, backstory of the rarity of the drams. The Single Barrel Proof Rye, I've forged some really great relationships with the Jack Daniels International team. I reached out to them and said, hey, I keep going to these events and Tennessee Squires keep giving me drams that I haven't had before, and it's embarrassing. Please send me something to arm myself And then I thought, as soon as it arrived, I said, Ray, let's put 2 of these on the chat and give people an opportunity to try the Toasted Heritage, which is the other one that's not available in Australia, and the single barrel proof rye. So pretty exciting, Ray. Pretty exciting lineup.
I'm pretty excited, definitely. And as I was saying before, just super excited to get into like all the different barrels and casks and everything to do with this lineup. It's a bit crazy, and hopefully people see that appreciation once they go through it, especially the nerdy side of it, because I certainly like that.
100%. I think we've got a few nerds on here. We're all safe here. I just got back from the Renaissance Fair, okay? So I've been hanging out with nerds all week.
Cosplay.
So should we kick off with the gold, Ray? What do you reckon?
Yep. So, let's do that. Let's go.
All right. Now, when we were putting this collection together, folks that are tuning along and tasting with us, we kind of looked at the lineup and thought none of these are part of the core family of brands, which is usually a massive no-no for someone that represents Jack Daniels, not to have Gentleman Jack, Single Barrel, Old Number 7. I mean, we've had Old Number 7, of course, which has been a true classic with Coke. But we're starting with the Gold 27. This was originally made for a global travel retail. And I think Jeff Arnett, our previous master distiller before Chris Fletcher, put out only 500 cases of this globally. Now, whether that has changed in a formal amount, I'm not sure, but it is, again, becoming increasingly difficult to find. And Ray, you were saying as well, the selections that we've got, so many of them are double-barreled or barrel finishes, which is a real kind of walk down the innovation avenue at the Jack Distillery. Pretty exciting.
I've had this one probably, I don't know, a half a dozen times over the years, and never did I know it was double barreled as well. It's even one of your other brands, Woodford, with double oaked. It's called double oaked. Not a lot of people realize why it's called double oaked. So you don't sing it out on the labels or anything like that. So to revisit it and go, cool, that's a double oak barrel.
That's hence the number 2 on the label in 27, because it's double barrel.
This is the best.
Could they put little times in there? So 2 times number 7.
They should have.
I mean,
I love how quickly Davey jumped in on that, and it's so true. Old Number 7 and a 2 because it's been twice matured. So it does the full term, 4 till 7 years in toasted and charred barrels, 20-minute toast, 20-second char, and then it's reintroduced to virgin American oak barrels for about 10 months, between 10 months and a year. So double-barreled, very much. And the ABV...
40%.
Yeah, 40, 80. So it's going to be nice and mellow, but it's going to be all that.
That's a lot.
40, 80. 480 proof.
But that is at 40%, that's got a lot of legs too. Like that's got a lot more viscosity than I remember. That's really, really cool. Good starting dram too.
A beautiful place to start. Well, cheers everyone to Tennessee Whiskey Day, which is in 2 days, but we're celebrating early. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers.
And please throw everything into that chat. We want to address all of your questions. We want to give John Jarvis a bit of a workout as well with putting the flags and banners up. Please stay active in the chat because we want to hear from you guys at home, what you think about the drams. And don't forget, Ray, I'm giving away a bottle of Blackberry to the most engaging comment. Isn't that right? Yeah,
well, it's up to you. It could be the most boring comment, if so you choose.
The best tasting notes, I think we settled on.
Tasting note, right? Comment, whatever you choose.
I think in my haste of rolling out the comms about this, I think I said just the best comment. So I think just
love that. Love that.
Here they come.
Yeah. No, that's all just like no, we can't put any of that up.
Oh right,
just really inappropriate one-liners.
Yeah. I actually tuned out zoned down a little bit there when you were talking about this one, but I was going to say it is very chocolatey. I get a heap of that sort of cocoa come through on it. So
it really is. And you don't often get a lot of chocolate with Jack Daniels in general. It's not usually a note that comes through. Yes, Dickford, correct. It is damn smooth. And I think it's smooth. Ray and I used to talk about this all the time when we were back in bars. We used to talk about smooth being a dirty word because it's lazy, or that's the conception across the whiskey world. I don't think smooth is lazy at all. If you have a whiskey and it drinks easily and it's pleasurable, call it smooth. You know,
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with using that word.
I always get massive banana notes on the nose with the number 27 gold.
I got a broken banana reader. I never like, even with Jack Daniels, everyone calls it banana. It's like tasting notes, all that. I'm into them, I love them, but I just don't get banana on anything usually.
You don't get that on the nose.
Yeah,
I know it's there because
I
everyone
wonder.
talks about it and it's scientifically proven, but no.
Hey, is it?
Like,
Cool.
yeah. But I can smell a banana a mile away. You go figure that out.
Interesting.
That's actually super interesting. It's like when whiskey is in the equation, banana comes out of the equation for you. That's because banana is one of the most recognizable fruits. The smell is so noticeable, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I get it.
No bananas in here, guys. Don't know what you're drinking. Bunch of fools.
It is sort of like so much like just very cake battery, like heaps of that chocolate coming through. I can't unsee banana now, thanks, Dave. Well done, mate. Like broken my brain.
I think
good. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty delicious. I think it's a good opportunity. We've got a whiskey. We've probably got our Jack and Coke sitting on one side and our gold on the other. But before we get into the second dram, it's probably a good time. I was telling Ray, I've been telling the story of Jasper Newton Daniel, Uncle Jack, Gentleman Jack, for so long, day in, week out. I never get tired of it, but today I just got completely reinvigorated with the story because I've been listening along to a podcast, which is the Jack Daniels official podcast. I encourage any super fans on the chat to check it out. It's called Around the Barrel. So you can get it on Spotify. But goodness me, there's one of the episodes is breaking down the storytelling, the history, and what your experience would be if you go to the distillery. Like, what's a little bit of the storytelling that you'll find out? And I learned so much about Jack Daniel's early life. One of the things, that I talk about frequently was, Jasper Newton Daniel. He was named after two war generals in the Revolutionary War. He grew to a height of 5'2". He kicked a safe, and the safe ended up giving him gangrene, and he would pass away from it. Bringing out the slogan "Never turn up to work early," because it was him being early and forgetting the code of the safe led to him kicking it out of frustration, getting blood poisoning.
He didn't just go to bed with a sore foot and wake up dead. If you can wake up dead, it was a long
time. Yeah,
it was a long time after. A lot of people, I don't think, realize that.
It's true. It started in 1905 when he kicked the safe, and it would take several years to turn into gangrene, and then he would lose parts of his leg starting at the ankle and going up to his thigh. And the complications from that original injury would end up killing him. But it's obviously a very sad story, but where it started, he left home when he was 7 or 8 years old, and he was the youngest of 10 kids. And Ray, you'll appreciate this, but when you've got a litter of dogs, and you have the runt in the pack, the little one, there's always the little nuggety one that's like running around, and the others pick on it, push it around. That would have been Jack. I mean, he grew to a height of 5'2", but he would have been the smallest in the family and literally the youngest. And I think a key part of the story of why he went on to make this whiskey and why he needed to make such a mark on the world is because he was the runt of the family. And you know what? When he left home 7, 8 years old, his dad and his mum at the time probably would have been relieved on one less mouth to feed in that scenario. You know what I mean? But it's just a fantastic story of resilience, creativity. He ended up being taken in by a Lutheran minister, but it was a rocky road. And he learned how to distill. He was bootlegging whiskey. And this is one of the things that I learned in this podcast. And I encourage you guys to look into it and have a listen on Spotify. But he was actually on a wagon delivering the Dan Call whiskey around the town. And because there was some kind of, less than fully figured out laws about whiskey making, moonshining, what have you, he was working with Dan Call's wife at a local grocer that Dan Call owned. So this shop was selling cured meats and a whole bunch of other, sort of grocer items. And he and Jack Daniels and his cousin at the time were hiding all of the bootlegged whiskey under cured meats so that they wouldn't get caught. They'd do their run, and on the way back, they would have taken the back roads and been passing out this kind of bootlegged whiskey. And hearing this on the podcast, it's sort of like it frees up my mind in some ways, and I won't talk about it every session I run, of course, but there's some fascinating stories, and they're on this podcast, which means the Jack team has gone through, approved, and gone, here, this is a day in the life. So pretty fascinating to think, this young Jack Daniels that was the runt of, 10 kid family has gone on to do something so incredibly great over the course of the last 160 years. And it all started out of very difficult circumstances. And there's a minister involved, which I like first.
Well, he's got a pretty well-known name, and Daniel is a great last name. Let's be real.
You got Daniel Cole, and you've got Ray Daniel, and then you've got Jack Daniel.
And I will drink their moonshine. Thank you.
So yeah, just felt like sharing that with you guys, and it's awesome, right? Like every Jack session that I do, I try to keep the core story of Jack Daniels, but of course when you've got a bit of repetition with the stories that you talk about, it's always amazing when you find some new information. Hang out with Davey Boy for an afternoon, and you'll learn about 50 times that amount. But all right, should we move on to the Sinatra, Raymond?
Yes, I think so.
I think he's still on the virtual, even though I can't see him. All right, Sinatra. What a guy. Ray's got the bottle there. Do you want to hold it up for us, Ray? It's a
beautiful
bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hefty little guy.
Nice and weighty as well.
Sign. Yeah.
Such a beautiful bottle. And I brought something along for the folks at home for this one because I'll hold it up in a second. But
are you going to play a song? Is it one of those things to play a song with?
It's a yes. It's a Armenian pan flute. No, I'm kidding. It's a Sinatra stave.
Before you go on, Andy, I just want to, if we can go back to the smooth comment, the damn smooth.
Yes.
I mean,
it says it on the label. That's me. I'm big now.
Well, I was trying to get a close up of the stave, but then Ray butted in with his
with those extra charred grooves.
Old smooth classic.
Yeah.
And John, if I do ask sneakily for you to put it back on me for a second,
a Tennessee, show this guy.
A Tennessee spy that's on this chat, Mr. Nick Ferner, actually gave this to me when I won Brand Ambassador of the Year. He actually burnt this into the wood, which has become one of my favorite possessions. Thank you, Nick.
Very cool.
But there's another function to this, is that I can use it in advocacy because this is a Sinatra barrel. So as we're going to enjoy it, and of course I'll tell very briefly the story of Frank and why this partnership was so wonderful for us. But this is what they do. They'll get the barrel. They will sit it on the side. They'll toast it for 20 minutes, char it for 20 seconds. And then a giant corkscrew will work its way through the inside of the barrel, cutting segments away so that you're taking that toast and that char down to virgin American oak. Now, they frequently talk about Sinatra being bold, but also being smooth. He was that kind of character. He had the two parts to his identity, but the virgin American oak brings through that light vanilla, those beautiful light barrel spices. And of course, the toast and the char bring that complexity of, barrel sugars and again, another type of charred and toasted wood. So you've got kind of bold and smooth characteristics. And that was the whole idea of this release.
And that looks pretty easy to do too.
Yeah,
I reckon you could do it. I reckon you could do it in your shed, Ray.
Yeah, I reckon I'd have a go.
It is very cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just the ingenuity of just a barrel getting that done and so neat and tidy. Hats off to that, Jack.
Yeah, and it's been patented. So the Jack Distillery is the only one that can use that format of barrels. They have copywritten it, if you would put it that way. So it's now patented to Jack Daniels, which is amazing. But Sinatra, I'll speed this one along, Ray, because I could talk about Sinatra for like an hour, and we don't have an hour. But 1955, Humphrey Bogart sitting across the table from Frank Sinatra, all true stories, which is what I love about Jack. Slides across an old number 7, and he says, "Frank, you've got to try this." Frank picks it up, had a sip of that beautiful old number 7, and it became his favorite whiskey until the day he died. And in 1955, I always talk about this because it's such a powerful number, but we were at 80,000 cases globally as a brand at Jack Daniels, and Frank Sinatra gets up on stage with a whiskey that he was just so in love with, right? And he had a 3-2-1 in his hands, 3 cubes of ice, 2 nips of Jack Daniels Old Number 7, 1 splash of water, the 3-2-1. And he said on the Ed Sullivan Show, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Daniels from Tennessee. This is the nectar of the gods, right? And that line is now immortalized, in not just in the crowds that he said it all the way around the world, but of course, Jack Daniels fans at home are now, thinking this, what a great way to explain the whiskey you love, calling it nectar of the gods. And he took us from 80,000 cases within a couple of years to over 850,000. So he more than quadrupled the size just by saying this is pretty good juice.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and Davey knows this story better than anyone. And of course, the Squires on this chat will be very familiar. But he loved it so much, and it's the crescendo of the story. He loved it so much that when he passed away, he asked to be buried with 3 things. He was buried with a bottle of Old Number 7. Pretty
2
easy to
cubes of
guess. 2 cubes of ice and 1 splash of water. No, he was buried with a bottle of Old Number 7, a packet of Camel cigarettes, and a roll of quarters so that he could call his friends if he ran out of cigarettes or Jack Daniels. So as the coffin went down, Frank Sinatra was remembered for having the most incredible charisma and sense of humor. And what he gave to the Jack Daniels trademark is just incredible. He's changed the course of our history. But of course, if you go back to the 50s, 60s, not even mentioning the 80s and the 90s where bourbon and dark spirits were slumping. Everyone was drinking Cosmos Manhattans and, not Manhattans, Cosmos Martinis. Everyone was drinking light spirits. So it was some incredibly dark waters for the Jack Daniel distillery to navigate. And Frank Sinatra really kind of queued us up for success by endorsing us wherever he went around the world. So yeah, pretty awesome story. Anyway, it's delicious. So we should drink it.
It's a fantastic drink. First,
It's still
So Andy, that corkscrew effect, it effectively acts like a double barrel in the single barrel aging, right? You're getting that 2 layers of flavor, yeah.
It's perfectly pointed out. You're essentially doing 2 things at once, Luke. You're allowing for 1 barrel process without finishing to start a secondary, almost a secondary maturation within the same barrel. So good, in fact, that any fans of Tequila Herradura, sorry, I work for Brown Forman, it's happening. They've released over the last couple of years a product called Leyenda or Legend. And the Legend has borrowed the grooved barrel. In fact, they call it Barril Acanalado, which is way sexier in Spanish than it is in English. Exactly the same. They corkscrew the barrels and they age one of our tequilas in virgin American oak that's been grooved. And it's just incredible to see that getting taken up as an innovation, because the amount of maturation that you can do in 5 years, you can pretty much do it in 2, right? You're allowing 2 different types of maturation to happen and far more surface area access. So it's just awesome. Just a great innovation.
And Andy,
love it, Nick.
Was it a tough sell to get Jack Daniels to start innovating and experimenting in cask finishes, or did they reach that decision organically?
I think it was an innovation of the team at the time, wanting to recreate, and this is how I understand it. They wanted to recreate the Jack Daniels that Frank Sinatra would have been enjoying in the 50s. Now, what does that mean? Basically, as they were doing their research, and of course, they would have found a couple of bottles from the 50s, right? Mm-hmm. Davey boy, you've got bottles that date back further than that, right? Yeah. But if you take a bottle of Old Number 7 that was around in the same time as Sinatra was in his heyday, 50s, 60s, you have a taste of that, it's going to be different to the product we have today. In fact, the Old Number 7 that we make today is still Uncle Jack's recipe, but we make the whiskey now that he would make on his best day. That's how we talk about it, because innovation has just developed so that we can make the same recipe, but a little bit better. Now, why did they do this at the distillery? And why did the team come up with this idea? I think they wanted to create a deeper, richer, oaky Old Number 7. to throw a bit of light on what Sinatra would have been drinking, at the Copacabana in 1960. And that was it had a lot more deep, rich oak, Davey, and I think that's what they were really going for. I can't tell you exactly why this innovation emerged, but goodness me, it's such a clever way to create something that's bold and smooth at the same time. Don't know if I answered your question. I had a crack.
Going back to your tequila, was that new inspiration for the distillery tastings in the tequila barrel?
The distillery take. Oh, you mean the tequila barrel innovation?
Yeah.
100%. You should also know, and Ray would know this too, back from when we were working in Webster's in Newtown. We started to see probably, I reckon, 8 to 10 years ago, Ray, or maybe less than that, maybe 6 to 8 years ago, we started to see a lot of, bourbon. Let's say, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Sazerac, a lot of other businesses outside of Brown-Forman. Not to say that the innovation was everywhere, but the idea of using two of your distilleries within one company to achieve an innovation of flavor is not an original idea to Brown-Forman. I think Ray gave, what was it, Raymond? You gave me an Eagle Rare that was aged in Corazon barrels, or
Corazon
like that.
was aged in. So a single barrel of Eagle Rare that we chose was then sent to Corazon and filled up with tequila and aged, and we call it Turkish Delight. Yeah, that was.
I bought a bottle of that, and Jordan, my flatmate at the time,
kept complaining about
drank the whole thing, and it literally tasted like Turkish Delight. Why do I bring that up? Because the innovation has been a thing for a very long period of time. You've got Brown-Forman that owns Jack Daniels, owns Woodford Reserve Old Forester, and owns Tequila Herradura, very similar to Sazerac with Corazon, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare. You've got the ability to just send barrels across and go, hey guys, why not?
Just try it for fun.
And the tequila is not where it was 20, 30 years ago. It used to be you'd ask someone in the room if they like tequila, and 2 people would put their hands up out of 20. Same with peated whiskey. 20 years ago, Ray, you run a tasting. Who here likes peated whiskey? 1 or 2 kids would put their hand, not kid, over LDA. Legal drinking.
We had to start them young. That's how you do it. But no, you're exactly right as well, though. But also, go back even 10, 12 years ago when we were right in the thick of it, and doing the bars all the time, and this, that, the other. I love my tequilas, love my rum, love the whole lot. Even 10, 12 years ago, it was hard to find that innovation, those things. Like if you're looking for a tequila, everyone, when somebody says to me, and no disrespect to the brands out there, I don't like bourbon. I say you don't like Jim Beam because all they've experienced is a white label Jim Beam. However, Jim Beam doesn't just make Jim Beam. I don't like Scotch. Well, you don't like Johnny Walker. You don't like Johnny Red because that's all you've ever tried. There's a whole flavor wheel. And when you say, I don't like tequila, had a bad experience, all you can imagine is a little red hat. That little red hat.
Everyone knows that red hat.
Yeah, right.
That's right. So when it comes to Herradura and doing the tour there and everything and drinking tequila from a barrel off a donkey is pretty untoppable. It's fantastic. But also, if you're a whiskey drinker and you're going into the Herraduras, or as I call it, Herradura hurdy-dirty because of
I like it.
Bloke at the bar, he's like, I'll have one of them hurdy-dirties. All right. That's Herradura, but no problem. Hurdy-dirty straight up. And you're having that either neat like we do or on ice. And yes, your first sip of it, you're going to say that's not whiskey. But as you sip it and enjoy it and get to know what's in your glass, the flavors that are coming through are they're insane, and they're just as good. And that's an Añejo Herradura. It's just absolutely delicious. So yeah, I certainly hope that people do try that out there, because what they're doing with those barrels and stuff is just phenomenal.
It is, and I think Jason, you probably just got a really long answer to a short question, but
I think more detailed.
Yeah, but you know what though, that kind of opens up the question of innovation in general, right? If something starts happening in one side of the world, it also, Jack Daniels, for example, I don't know how it all started here, but Jack Daniels might have gone, hey, look at these guys over here doing this amazing innovation with tequila. We're friends with the guys at Herradura. Why can't we send across about? So innovation is a wave, sorry for the cliche, but it's a wave that lifts all ships, right? I think once one distillery starts bringing out something that's a bit wacky and a bit wild, other distilleries start going, hey, why don't we have a crack at something similar to this? It's working so well. So, and it's never a bad thing, right? They, to imitate is the best form of flattery, but also everyone putting their best products out there and trying new innovations is the best thing that our market can get. We get access to all these weird and wonderful, quirky barrel finishes, new techniques. And I think, the Sinatra Select was the start of an incredible idea of secondary maturation, and whether you can really, like Luke said, try to achieve that in one go. So it's an awesome time. And I think at the Jack Distillery as well, they're always looking out for the next way to innovate, whether it's experimenting with mash or maturation. The only thing that we always stay true to, of course, is our fermentation, our yeast, our sour mashing, all of the core grain. Those sorts of things will never change. But barrels, you can be flexible with barrels. They offer so many different options and alternatives in flavor. So it's heaps of fun.
You just brought up something really funny too, which is on the label all the time. But how many people know Jack Daniel's is a sour mash whiskey?
So true.
Like, so, of course, I would expect
Yeah,
if you didn't know, then there'd be an issue.
It would be an issue, and Carla's watching too, so I'd probably be in trouble later. I'd get a very strongly worded email. No, but it's sour mashing is, to reference a ramen that I had last night, and now you're all going to be thinking, Andy's finally lost it. What's he talking about ramen for? But when you've got that master broth that's been in a family for generations, if you guys have eaten at Gumshara in Chinatown, it's a family recipe that goes back hundreds of years using the same pork bone broth, much like a sourdough starter. And sour mashing allows you to build funk, but keep the DNA of the product that your ancestors were making.
I'm happy to have a boiled and brewed beer, fermented and then boiled into a whiskey. I'm not happy to have 100-year-old pork bone broth. No.
Well, I won't invite you.
Good.
So. it sounds creepy.
Adding to it, there's nothing wrong with it. It just more
some things don't age the same as others. I'm just gonna say.
True.
It's called a master broth, Ray, and it's perfectly safe.
Yeah, it sounds it. Love it. All right, well,
Number 10.
There's going to be a few grilling questions about this one. Let's get them all out of the way. Jack Daniel's 10-year. When are you bringing more age statements to the country, mate?
Oh,
great question, Ray.
I was prepared.
I was prepared.
So it's been an interesting journey with the aged expressions, namely because it's one of those products that we know we're never going to have enough. We know that in Australia, our allocation will only grow if we keep screaming and knocking at the door. And so between myself and the Jack team, Carla's on the virtual as well, we're doing that. We're doing just that. And we're always asking for more. The market shows the appetite. As soon as the 10 edition 4 dropped, it was gone. And that's sort of what more proof do you need? But there are also some products made at Tennessee, at our distillery, that are never going to be made in a super huge volume. So you've got to kind of, in some ways, be happy with what you've got. The good thing about the edition 4 being the first age statement to arrive in Australia is that it is just that. We've got the edition 5, which is coming out in the next couple of months. Then we're going to be down the line looking at the 12, the 14. We won't be getting the 14 in the next year or two, I don't think. But
I've been looking at them for a while too. They look great.
They look fantastic. The number 1 and 4 on a bottle is just beautiful. But yeah, Morgan, trust me, Morgan, we're working on it. It will make its way to Australia. But again, same as the edition 5 and the 12, when it arrives here, it will be in limited number. But I tell you this, and I didn't address this, I suppose, to this level of detail on our last stream. But we are improving the way we communicate how it's coming out. And we are, working with the right people to make sure that what little allocation we have goes to the right hands. That is more complicated than it sounds. But really, at the end of the day, you want people that really live and breathe this brand to be the first that know about it. So, of course, the Tennessee Squires are going to be part of that conversation. And then, from there, we move with our chosen, e-com and online stores to make sure that their preferred customers will also have a crack at getting a bottle. So, even though I'm not saying any numbers, I'm trying to let you guys know that it's our biggest project at the moment is doing them right, making sure that with what little we get, we release it in the right way to the right.
And I think, with all due respect, with the numbers, it's always going to be limited. It's called limited. It is limited. It's limited on the home turf. So anything you guys get over and do and make it work the right way, then it's got to be,
And it's super refreshing.
We don't know the cogs on the inside. So
yeah, it's super refreshing. You guys are doing that in the first place, thinking about community, thinking about the grassroots.
Yeah.
I think it's really important too.
And thank you, Davey. I think from our side, it's never too late to start working at the community and working at how we make these products available to the right people. I've taken it on as a personal mission with the Squires, but what does that mean? It means I find out with an ear to the ground what we're not getting right, and that's something that is really important to listen to. So yeah, I think it's a really exciting part of the journey, because we're going to start filtering what we do have down through trusted sellers. And that's going to be a really fun journey as well. Look at this. Travis is bringing in the heat.
The cinnamon.
It doesn't all fit on the screen.
He wants all that blackberry, all of it.
He does, and you know what? If he's the one, he's earning it. He's putting in the graft. Love it. Thank you for sharing, Travis. I talked all about 10, Ray, but I didn't really explain to the good people whilst they're going to be enjoying the whiskey exactly what it is. It is, again, the first time Jack has ever worked on aged
10-year-old Jack Daniels.
Thank you, Raymond.
Yes.
Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
As you were.
By the time we get the 14 here, the 18 is probably going to be released over there.
Yeah.
You know what? I would laugh, but
it's probably true.
Probably pretty close.
What we'll need to do in the future, if it, and I'll remember to do this, because I won't forget and I'll annoy you about it. But I really love the ABV transgression on the year statements, and I'd love to go through them and have that conversation and why and what, and obviously to taste them as well. But it's interesting.
It's a super quick one on my end, and I was very lucky to sit down with Chris Fletcher when he last visited Australia. Had an event at Bella Vista out west, and it was just fantastic to sit on the same stage as this guy. Chris is so passionate, and he's a little bit sort of not monotone, but he explains things very calmly, very cool. But if you throw in a bit of humor, he starts whipping back at you, and goodness me, he's so much fun once he starts opening up. But he was feeling really playful, and he talked about the 10-year in this way. He said, Andy, if I was a chef, what I'd be doing with these barrels is basically keep them at the bottom of the rick house, and that's what I call, gently sautéing the whiskey, right? At very low temperatures, you can simmer and just take your time making that beautiful kind of almost ragu. When you lift it up into the middle, you might have a little bit of pan frying going on, a little bit of that caramelization happening at the base, where if you're cooking a bit of meat, you're starting to get those caramelized sugars forming around and sticking to the pan. A beautiful kind of almost crackly sort of element you get with meat. And then he says at the top of the rick house, it is boiling hot, roaring hot, 50, 60 degrees Celsius, right? So what they're doing up there is their flambe, really just like searing the heck out of that whiskey, almost like he's talking about cooking a steak. And when Chris Fletcher talks like that, you listen, because he's got a chemist background, but he's also very passionate about flavor, loves country music as well, which I found out. I love that. But when he talks about the 10, it's all about moving that barrel to make sure that it doesn't over oak at the top and lose too much to evaporation, but it also doesn't simmer to the point where its identity isn't, forming that robust, memorable style of Jack. So it's pretty cool. It's a testament to their patience. But Jack Daniels back in the day, he had 8-year, he had 10-year, he had 18-year. They even say that in the late 1800s, he had a 21-year-old. Okay, so he was experimenting with age statements long before, our current generation of master distillers. So this is kind of a throwback, if anything, just to remember him. Perfect on Tennessee Whiskey Day to be talking about how early he was innovating in his life. So anyway, cheers to all of you guys. There's not much of this left in Australia. So it's good to enjoy it with you all. 48.5% ABV, which for me is an absolute sweet spot. It just hits perfectly.
Yep. How do you feel about the here's one in the whiskey community, the age statement on a bottle? Everyone's like, oh, it doesn't matter, but as soon as it's on a bottle, it does matter. I think it's good. I think the transparency of it is good to know that I'm drinking something that's at minimum 10 years old, and then onwards and upwards from there. Does it change the price? Does it matter? What's your thoughts there, Andy?
It's funny, right? Because in the world of Scotch, where you've got way less evaporation, angel share, you've got almost barrels that are in stasis due to the low temperature, you're not losing a whole lot, and it allows you to take it up to 40, 50, and then, you're adding 10, 20, 30, $40,000 to the value of that whiskey, but that's only in the perception of the buyer, right? Of the person buying it. And then you go over to the world of American whiskey, and the Pappy is a perfect example of something, you go to 15, 20, 23. If you're one of the only recognized American distilleries that are doing that, you will get fame and recognition for that alone. But then for the other American whiskey distilleries that start releasing age statements, that impact kind of softens, a little bit. And I think that a mark of value in Scotland is just because this is someone's entire life. Like the master distiller is putting that barrel down and
never even knowing it's going to taste. Yeah, probably won't get
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a selfless act of the master distiller. Like, Dr. Rachel sometimes talks about this. Dr. Rachel Barry, Glendronach, Benriach, and Glenglasser, she will put down a barrel, and Elizabeth McCall at Woodford talks about it too. They put down that barrel, not knowing if they'll ever see its final maturation, and it's a really selfless and kind of a difficult thing. It's like letting a child go and not being able to see it grow to get married and have kids or whatever. So I've gone round around your question. Sorry, Ray, but I think that it's a mark of value because of the time that is taken to be ready. It's expensive to age for a long time. It's, you don't have money coming in while it's sitting in the barrel. And I think for Scotland, it's crazy because you're looking 30, 40, 50 years. In America, it's harder because your evaporation means that you're losing value as well due to the heat. Yeah. So I think it's a mark of value just because what's left is going to be more viscous rich, but there's also the risk that it will be over oaked.
There is that. There's also, like you were saying before, you're making the best Jack Daniels that Jack could have made on his best day, and that's because of innovation. And
right.
You can't age whiskey in Australia, you can't age whiskey in America. You can, and you just have to have that innovation. You have to have it done right, and it's the proof is showing. Like consistently, you just said 30, 40 year, 50 year scotches. Yeah, you get them. You get older bourbons as well, but you're looking at those 12 years and 15-year-old bourbons now coming out quite regularly and quite well done. So I think that age thing is now just they can reach those limits and they can reach them well.
And it's all about heat cycling, warehouse management. There's a lot more technical stuff to it as well, but ultimately it's still managing oak, which we know this, right? Oak will just try to take over something in America. The temperature just means that oak is just there waiting to over oak the product inside. Same thing with tequila. You're not going to see an añejo that's aged for 20 years because the oak will take over that vegetal, that what makes the agave, gives the agave to the flavor. So I think it's very similar with American whiskey too. The high temperatures mean that you're going to lose more and more of that original profile. Jason, that cat is gorgeous, by the way. Stop pushing her away.
He's a Maine Coon.
Oh, he's a Maine Coon. What a boss.
Yeah, he's a pain in the arse. You want him?
Yeah, Maine Coons are amazing.
They are.
But a bit of a tangent there, but I think, to answer your question, Ray, value is all about perception, but it's also about the difficulty of the final product. And I think in America, it's incredibly hard to make a 10-year-old just because of that management of heat and that management of oak.
The balancing act must be incredible of when to pull those barrels off from the upper echelons of the rick house, because you can leave it there 24 hours later and it's over oaked.
Exactly. I think John Jarvis on the call, the Helliers Road chat that we had a few nights ago, Raymond I was just listening to John, and he was talking about the fact that when something's ready, even giving it a couple of months can completely transform it into a different whiskey, and the risk there is monumental. And it's much. I'm sure it's much the same in American whiskey, right? Yeah, but it's pretty perfect. So something to be really excited about as well when the edition 5 drops. Chris Fletcher just, whatever. It was on a private chat, but I'm going to share it with you guys. He said it's his favorite age. He said it's his favorite age expression. The 10 edition 5. He said it's his favorite. And he's worked on the 12 and the 14.
Yeah, the 10-year-old batch 5 is getting a lot of raves. Nothing but ticks all around. So I'm looking forward to trying the bottle.
Pretty exciting.
Yep.
Have you tried the first, second, third, fourth comparisons?
Embarrassingly, Jason, I have not. I've not even seen the bottles.
Okay.
So, I think Linus Shaxman, my wonderful colleague that takes care of Victoria, he's very big on Andy, hold on to one of each so we can do a side by side. And I love that idea. I think what we'll try to do is to get our hands on one of each and just try them side by side, because what a wonderful thing, 10 years, but slightly different elevations and casks. To be able to make notes on that would be unreal.
That sounds like a good Wayfarer virtual, just saying, just give the bottles to us and
I'll be part of that. I'm okay with it.
You heard it here first, folks.
All in the name of science, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, hopefully, man. I'd love to do that. I think it'll be an awesome experience to talk about the nuances. All right, keep it rolling, Ray. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get this show on the road, mate. Stop dribbling. On.
What I love about Andy's like, just going to keep this short, and then he still talks for 20 minutes. So.
Now,
if you haven't been leveled by John Jarvis, then
I have been waiting to try this since sampling up these drams with you lot. So can we tuck right in? I've been pretty excited to try this since seeing coming out, and thank you so much for facilitating this and your contacts overseas for making it happen. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
My first time.
Yeah. Thank you guys. There's a couple of squires. There'll be
excited about this one. Yeah.
Oh, mate. Same with me, by the way. I've only tried this once before, and it was with Squire Nathan. I'm not sure whether he's on the chat, but he shared his bottle of this with so many squires, and he got in a couple more. And he's just one of those guys like who wants this and just tries to make it available for when he gets a couple of bottles in. This is what a Tennessee Squire is, by the way. They're just shit.
Absolutely.
But this is a really, really exciting one. It was named number 1 whiskey of 2025 by Breaking Bourbon. Number 3, I think, in Whiskey Advocate. This is the Toasted Heritage Barrel. It won't be released in Australia. 100 proof, and it is, again, a double barrel, very similar to what we experienced with the 27 Gold. But for me, I've only tried this once and I've forgotten what it tastes like, so I'm really excited, and thanks again, Ray, for shooting these out, because there's many on this chat that won't see one or haven't seen one before.
I wasn't waiting for you. I've already tasted it, and it's more spicy than I imagined. I thought I was expecting a little bit more caramel.
Well, Coy Hill. Coy Hill's the key 2 words here. There is elements of this release, the Toasted Heritage, that spend time in Coy Hill. There you go. That's a hard
bottle.
Right? Nice.
Yeah,
is it opened or closed?
It's not open yet.
Still sealed. Yeah, okay. So we're doing a tasting of that, a virtual tasting of that one.
I think we should.
Yeah, okay.
Another thing about it. No, please don't. So it's double toasted.
I'll put the stakes on, guys. Come on around.
Please do, Remy.
You guys getting toasted marshmallows on that nose, or?
Yeah, it's great.
Damn.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like kind of vanilla fudgy.
We all cut you off. You were saying?
That is okay. We normally enter whiskey into the barrels at 125 proof. This one goes in at 100 proof. And then, your lower entry proofs pull more wood sugars. Sugar is more soluble in water, right? So we take this one all the way to the top of Coy Hill, and barrel house 1 to 9, generally speaking, for more heat and airflow. So that's why you get that kind of extra spiciness from this expression. And just like every single Jack that we release, it goes through the Lincoln County process before being shipped out to Coy Hill. Coy Hills, it's that crazy unicorn, right? Ray? Like anytime people talk about Coy Hill, it's the highest elevation rickhouse that we have, and you can just get insane results there.
So saying single barrel, heritage barrel, it's always going to be from Coy Hill, just as the barrel proof single barrel is from the top of the rickhouse in other warehouses. This one's always going to be Coy Hill, so that's how they're always going to, because obviously being a single barrel, there's only so many bottles that are going to be in each one, and it's not quite available. It's going to be continually available, right? It's not.
Yes.
And they didn't just do one barrel.
Exactly right.
How many single barrels have they actually done of this release? Do you know any?
That is a very good question, but I heard that it goes back
138.
as far as it goes back as far as I can't give you a number, Davey, but I can tell you that it first launched in 2018.
Sure.
It dropped again in 2019, and then it was paused until 2025. So it will be ongoing, but it has had a sporadic
and was that
unpredictable. Yeah.
And was the pause due to COVID and the glass shortages and all that, or?
I think that's probably largely why it was put on ice for a little while. That's a good one there, actually. But I think that's shut up, Andy. I think that's why they stopped it for a little while. Yes.
And it'll definitely never come to Australia.
Well,
not
single
as
units.
far as yeah. I'm doing everything I can. Ray knows more than anyone on this call. Ray knows how much I'm pushing for expressions to come out here, and if they send a bottle or a case, it means the world to me, because I can do things like this. And I mean it. I have to talk about Tennessee Squires quickly. I was shown the hospitality by Squires of people that have one bottle and they crack it when you're at their house, when you're at a bar, wherever you are, they'll open it with you, because that's what sharing is all about. And I'm just trying to put a bit of that back into the community of just, I don't have one, but if I get one bottle, it's going on the virtual with Ray, and all of you will have the opportunity to try it. So that's the theory anyway, but it all started with Squires being so generous with me.
And also, Andy's always very polite, as you can see on a stream. When I call him up like at least 3 times a week, so any news, he's a bit different. No, he's not. He's the same every time. He's always finger on the pulse, trying to make it all happen. And the big thing is, like you said earlier in the chat, it's just never going to be a lot of it, no matter what it is. And you can see that with over there. Obviously, there's a lot over there, but it's a lot to go to a lot more. So, hopefully we see things change a little bit, and we get smaller allocations or something. And Andy's doing like, go back 12 months ago, you wouldn't have putting this on the thing, wouldn't have happened unless we were able to source one somehow ourselves. So that's a big change. It might seem not much, but you put it in comparison to how big that company is, and trying to organize a case here and a case there of what you're doing, and it's people's time. So anyone involved in making it happen, it only happens because they care and it matters to them.
Well, that's a massive achievement for you guys, for all of us to try. It's something we appreciate.
Oh, mate, it's a no-brainer.
15 will have to start. We're starting with 15 mils. Let's grow from there.
I've never tried this, but yeah, it's
awesome.
More like a sweet, spicy at 50%, easy drinking, goes down well. Yeah.
Yes, it's. Thank you, Carla. I missed responding to Morgan just before Carla jumped in to be so lovely about the fact she knows what I'm doing. But yes, thank you, Morgan. The barrel profile. So it goes into a standard Jack Daniel's barrel, toasted for 20 minutes, charred for 20 seconds, and then it will go into a secondary virgin American oak barrel that has been toasted for around 30 minutes and flash charred. Not my predecessor, but Grant Chiron, the guru, a man that taught me so much about the advocacy discipline, and kind of like, I guess, brought me into the role and set me up for success. He would say that they put the barrel. They toast the barrel, which brings out all of those beautiful, caramelized wood sugars, and that's a really slow kind of almost like toasting a marshmallow. I think Johnny Jarvis brought up before. But the char, when you talk about a flush char, he used to say something when he was doing educationals. He'd say, "You cannot set a barrel on fire and put it out any faster than we have. Trust us, we've tried." And I just loved it. He would say it every single time he talked about Woodford Reserve double oaked. And that's what it's all about. It's about a flash char because you're not using the char for flavor. You're using char for access into the wood and for a deeper color. All of the magic happens flavor-wise with toasting. That's where you get the large kind of, quantity of flavor from. So that's the spec Morgan, regular toasted charred barrel, and then a secondary double toasted flash charred barrel. That's virgin. Thanks, Andy. You just went on a rant again, John Jarvis.
No, that's great.
Okay, good.
What does too much coal do? Jack Daniels does it. Doesn't do too much coal. It filters, so you don't want to filter all that flavor out.
Exactly, and the longer you leave moonshine whiskey or aged whiskey in charcoal, it will strip the color away. So you've got to be careful with that as well. But yeah, beautiful. Charcoal mellowing just takes away all of those unpleasant aromas and compounds, the sourdough, the weird raw corn kind of profile. All of that's coming out. That's why we call it smooth, and that's why smooth is not a dirty word in the Jack Daniels universe.
And isn't the before and after just insane? The difference.
So Davey's referencing a product that they sent over brand ambassadors to be able to explain the difference between a bourbon and a Tennessee whiskey. They send over a clear bottle of moonshine, Jack Daniels, but before it has undergone charcoal mellowing. It takes about 72 minutes. 72 hours, sorry, there they are. Thank you, Ray. 72 hours for every drop to get mellowed through 10 feet of activated charcoal sugar maple. And then they send you the sample after it's been, mellowed through activated charcoal. So you can really see what a moonshine is like that would become a bourbon made in Lynchburg to what a Tennessee whiskey is. And you have that first one, and it's literally, you smell it. It's like cereal notes. It's sourdough. It's really edgy, and it's quite intense. And then you try the charcoal mellowed, completely different, smoothed edges, and it's got a sweetness that you can't deny. And the only difference between the two is the charcoal.
Crazy.
Pretty cool.
So that'll be in the next pack too.
The next what, sorry?
The next pack as well.
Next pack, we're just going to do 10 moonshines.
That's it.
Don't get it confused
At
with
this
your water.
rate, we're just going to have a virtual every single week, right? Just to get everything done that we want to do.
I mean, why not?
I'm up for that.
Before we go on to the next one, I really do think we should skip the Oloroso and go to the barrel proof rye, Andy. Up to you. But
cool. No. I'm down with that. I think Ray and I had a discussion, and although the next in the lineup is the American single malt Oloroso cask, it's more of a dessert, and so we're going to have it at the end. And
you will
exactly. It is after dinner mint. So we're going to go into the single barrel proof rye,
the big boy of the show.
Oh, this was
a monster, absolute monster.
Damn.
64.75.
Hold this one up for you. Someone's winning this.
Oh, yes.
Best of luck.
Well,
That's
40%
bottle.
So bottled for your pleasure at 64.75 ABV or 129.5 proof. Bottled 750 mils of absolute dynamite.
I was about to say that. What a delight it was to be reminded when most of the other bottles were 700 mil and you can only do 46 packs. And then you get to those bottles and you go, huh, did I pour this wrong? Oh, 7.
Ray got leftovers, everyone.
I did get 60 mils. Yes.
I love that you've got a little bit to dram on after this, Ray. That makes me very happy with all the hard work that he's done with all the packing and sending with the Whisky Wayfarer team. It's the least of which you deserve. So, all right, let's dance.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone that hasn't had this before, a dash of water, but allow it to hit your tongue and have a bit of a taste before you add water. And if you find it a little bit too hot, which, it's hot, feel free to add a couple of drops of water just to kind of open up the flavors. It certainly won't suppress flavor.
it does run a little bit hot, but if you were trying that blindly, you wouldn't think it's almost 130 proof.
And I think
No
so.
way.
Also,
No, I
like,
agree.
when
Yeah.
it comes to a high ABV tasting as well, our community, everyone is quite used to it. But also that first sip you have
Oh,
is going to be. I remember we did a tasting with this Andy, and I apologise if I offend anybody online. But the person who was on the tasting with is like, first taste, you know, you're going to have it, and it's the first big whack of alcohol. It's fucking poison. Your face is going to go, no, I don't want that. So get past the first one and then try the second one. That's when you'll enjoy the flavors and forget the poison. I've always thought of it like that way. Like that first hit is always, all right, bring it on. And then after that, and then you should decide if you need to put the tiniest drop of water in and go from there. But for me, that drinks beautifully. And, you know, the rye spice is there, definitely, of course, but that caramel and the oak in the single barrel rye for me is always just insane.
Oh my goodness. That is
it's a crawler. It really is.
absolutely
Yeah, that is
delicious.
I would love to try it with a drop of water, but I didn't actually bring any water in here with me. So all I could drop in is like lower proof bourbon maybe and sip that.
I mean, you're going some of the way there.
I'm trying to think that's blending.
I think I said it on the last virtual with the was it the Esker beer? The
Yep.
stout that brought out the different flavors of this one. That's amazing. Yeah. But
Yeah, beers are great to do that.
different flavors with the matching with beer. Yeah, it's great. Oh, that's what you're on there. Yeah.
No, this is Tui's old.
Yeah. We're just out there.
You know, I've got to call this out just because, Morgan, you've been amazing on the chat. Thank you again for throwing in so many amazing comments. But what an accurate observation. It is literally, it's rye and raisin. Those are the two big notes up front is rye and raisin, almost to the point of like succulent sherry sultanas. It's just beautiful. It's such a beautiful
I'm glad I
combination
don't
of
get
rye and
cinnamon
raisin.
because I don't like cinnamon very much. So I'm glad I don't get that. But definitely spices and all.
That's amazing.
And there's a beautiful pipe tobacco note just at the end. This is a cigar. This is a cigar gram.
What was
It
it?
is, mate.
What
It
was
is.
at the end, Davey boy? Sorry, I missed that.
Just a pipe tobacco note.
Yep.
This is a dream you have over a fire with a cigar, if that's how you roll.
I'm only an hour and a half away, buddy. Let's light the
Do
fire.
that. And I roll there anyway, so
Let's go.
doesn't matter.
Johnny,
But
can you
Andy-
put that last tasting note back up again when you get a sec? No rush. Sorry, I
This
was
one or the
trying
one
to take
before?
it all in. No, this one, Travis. I love that he's put in fried chicken spices sans the chicken, because it kind of does. It's got that dusting of some savory spices as well as the cinnamon that Ray doesn't like. Really, really accurate, sweet and spicy. That's what everyone's kind of getting at here. It's sweet and it's spicy at the same time. I think this is why Jack Rye's is so sought after at the moment. Everyone is
barrel-proof
asking for
ryes are
single
just-
barrel proof.
I've probably tried about 5 or 6 different barrel-proof ryes now, and they're just never disappointing. They're just
No.
Spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah, rye's not massive in Australia though. It's start to, but it's taken a while to get
if
here.
it tastes like this, it will be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean for the whiskey crowd, though, but this is a different piece, and everyone always talks about barrel proof rye. So,
Australia really needs this whiskey, don't we, Ray?
we do. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things I talk to Andy before about 3 times a week. No, but it is. I
agree.
We've been on the same train for a very long time. Yeah.
So Andy, at 64, is that the biggest ABV that Jack releases?
No.
No.
I had the distinct privilege of meeting Grant Adams and Amanda Fowler, two of our global leaders at Jack Daniel's, more on the education front. They just not ran because you can't run around the world, but they've been flying around the world doing what we call a school of Jack. And it's just been the most incredible thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, Andy, why did you put that up as an Instagram post? You just did internal training." And for me, it was honestly one of the happiest days because I got to hear from two, of our global team that are so passionate about Jack, helping us to unpack the stories and to share. And it was just amazing. When we were in the chat, I kind of put them on the spot and I said, I love the class, guys. I work with Tennessee Squires and some huge fans, and I just love to have access to a couple of, really rare ones, even if it's one or two, just because the impact of that means I can do really cool focus sessions with people that are just really keen to try. And then I emailed them afterwards. They probably weren't expecting that. And I was like, hey, guys, can I actually get a couple of those? And they sent them. And it was just the most, so they sent me what is now being nicknamed in the Jack Daniels universe, the Hazmat Rye, due to the fact that it's 72.75%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Booker's anyone like that old school, George T. Stagg, take your head off. Hazmat Rye. It's a tiny little 350 ml bottle, but goodness me, I'm holding on to some of it so that Raymond can have a taste with me next time we catch up. But geez, it does not drink like it's 72. It drinks like it's 60.
It sounds like a horrible time, or a side by side with the Coy Hill. Let's do that.
Isn't the Coy Hill about 71, 72% behind you?
60.
I reckon you're pretty.
On that one.
How much
60,
is it? Sorry,
62.9.
that's only a little one.
Not even having a go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it even whiskey?
Is that
Is that a liqueur? I don't know.
he said that barrel proof smashes it. The rye smashes it.
Yeah.
But that rye doesn't drink like a 64. Like,
How good is it?
that's
beautiful.
That is way too, like, the complexity's there, the flavors there, but that ethanol burn that you would normally get at a higher ABV, even on the first sip, it's just not there. It's just pure flavor.
Travis,
And it's a good time to sample it now as well, after our palates are kind of good to go for it.
Yeah.
Mine also just evaporated in the glass. I don't know what happened.
Don't know what happened.
Just disappeared.
Holding mine as well.
A likely story, John.
Pretty sure that means
Yeah. I'm not a smart man, but I think you drank it.
But I think you drank it.
There was a gentleman I think that came on the chat before. It might have been Paul Thompson. I love this because he put up, "This is my pick of the day. Done. See you later." And he said, "I don't have Facebook," but he wanted. There you go. He's like, "I don't have Facebook, but I want you to know this is my vote." And geez, it has some power, doesn't it, Paul? It's just phenomenal. And this is why people ask
Paul
for it.
doesn't have Facebook because he's not allowed. What's going on, Paul?
Maybe he's sick of the noise, Ray. Everyone just jumps on there and
Yeah,
says
I think
what they're
it's a
feeling.
valid. Yeah.
It is true.
But beautiful whiskey, and I'm glad we did this second last, Ray, because the Oloroso really is just a lovely way to finish up on something sweeter. I just don't want this to run out. I don't want John Jarvis syndrome to happen for my glass.
You've got 40% of the bottle you're giving away, so you're good tonight.
Oh, am I taking it 60% down? Okay, I thought I was just having a few wee nips. No, you will receive this in full, and you will also receive this in full.
Not if they come via my house, they won't. They'll be going, wait.
No, don't worry, guys. I'll be sending them direct from the Brown Foreman office. Ray will not have access.
Yeah, there's trust for you. Okay? I'll enjoy my 60 mils, you 750 mil lover.
I got a recipe for that blackberry Jack Daniels, which I thought was really weird. But you get a fresh blackberries, smash them in the glass, do a shot of blackberry, and do a shot of sheepdog peanut butter whiskey. Just take like
PB&J.
That's just peanut butter and jelly. But no,
yeah, it's good. It goes down way too easy.
That sounds deadly.
Are you allowed to
Very
cross
dangerous.
brands here? I'm not sure.
Sorry, say that again.
Are you allowed to cross brands here? I'm not sure.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, you are the master of your own palate, my friend. If you want to undertake experiments and share them with us, I'm all for it.
Well, I thought it'd be a bit too sweet, but it actually it had to be really cold though. So blackberry out of the freezer, cold. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I'm not opposed to peanut and butter and jelly drinks at all.
No,
Or sandwiches. Still, I haven't grown up ever.
no, true that.
Wow, that's just something, isn't it?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Oloroso. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. single malt Oloroso. This one's been really fun. I don't actually. Have you got? You don't have a bottle at home? Yes, thank you so much. Can you show them? Can you show them the Art Deco sort of devils around the outside? It's hard to take in a virtual. Thank you, but it's this beautiful, elegant Art Deco style of bottle. A departure from the regular style of Jack bottles. It's just a beautiful piece. So 45%. I'm just reading off the label now.
Did you hold that up again?
Is that how you become a brand ambassador? Just read off the label.
Pretty much.
Jason,
until you remember it.
Jason, let me tell you, it's I have a horrible memory, but it is a constant workout to remember the specs, the distillery story, the history, the heritage. I reckon Ray could testify to this, but my memory's always been horrible. But I think since I've become a brand ambassador, it's got a whole lot better just from having to keep all this in mind.
I think so too, because you get to focus on one brand, whereas before, like so many times, I'd bring whiskey out or whatever, and we right at my house try it, and he's like, "Oh, that's delicious." I'm like, "Mate, you've had that." He just wouldn't remember.
I have to ask Ray. You know, I'll go over to his house. We'll have a dram together, and he'll go, "Oh, what about this one?" And I'm like, "Oh, what's it like?" And he goes, "You said you loved it," and I'm like, "Oh, wow, I loved it. Amazing." And I have to ask him if we're at a bar together. I'll just be like, "What did I think of this?" And he'd be like, "Oh, you thought it was pretty average." And I'm like, "Sweet." That's true. My memory in that scenario has not changed, but I think working for Brown Forman, when you're the Jack brand ambassador, it's easy enough, I suppose, because you remember everything Jack. But we've got to do Glendronach, Benriach, Glenglassaugh, Woodford, Old Forester. You know, I did a Chambord tasting once. My goodness, you know, you got to kind of.
Because I keep going. How many brands can you roll off?
Plain Irish whiskey, Ford's gin. Yeah. There's a fair few. Diplomatico rum. It's nice having a rum in our portfolio.
Oh yeah, especially that rum.
That's absolutely delicious. But you know what you can do, Jason Young-Smith?
What's that?
Chambord. You can use Tennessee Blackberry or Chambord. I don't know what a peanut whiskey is, but it sounds horrible. I'm just kidding. It sounds delicious. No, I like sheepdog. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just obsessed with peanuts. I
don't think I can drink a sheepdog too much by itself. It has to be mixed or something. You can only drink so much of it. But with the blackberry, it just goes down very well.
Goes down a treat.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about the American single malt.
No.
Sorry. I think everyone's tucking in. Morgan's already having a shot. So very basically, it's Americans making whiskey in the same way that the Scots do, using 100% malted barley. We obviously malt the barley, turn it over, grind it into a grist, make it in exactly the same way with the same sour mashing style, same fermentation cycle, same distillation, but after it's aged 4 to 7 years in our very typically toasted and charred white American oak barrels, exactly the same way as we'd age an old number 7. It comes out and it sees just over a year in an Oloroso sherry barrel. Now, thanks to the fact that Brown Forman work with Dr. Rachel Barry, Dr. Rachel Barry in Scotland has access to the most incredible Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez barrels in south of Spain, in Jerez. So she will allow that conversation within Brown Forman of who needs sherry barrels. And of course, Chris Fletcher kind of put his hand in the air and he said, "Hey, I'd love to do, a very special release." And it's funny because the single malt itself is honey, nougat, almond. It's got this beautiful toasted cereal, like crunchy granola sweet. Come in, Neil Diamond. It's got this just amazing toasted cereal note. And then he just wanted to bring raisins. You know, he wanted to bring raisins, figs. I can't remember who just jumped in the chat talking about figs with ASM. The figs, thank you, Morgan, and thank you, John. Figs, dried fruits, sultanas, raisins, all of that kind of equation comes in with Oloroso, of course. So he's allowing a beautiful toasted cereal, honey, nougat style of whiskey to come up against dried fruit. And that's just always going to work. For me, you can still tell it's Jack. Ray and I had this chat, like, how are we going to know if it's an American single malt? I think it was you and I, Ray.
Yeah.
How are we going to know it's Jack? But you just know because of the yeast.
You know first. And you wouldn't even as soon as you say single malt, you're like, oh yeah, it is a single malt, but you just get that classic Jack backbone. The DNA's there, and that would obviously be from the yeast strain and everything they're using. It's just
totally.
It's just insane how Jack it is, and it's absolutely delicious.
And do you guys cooper these Oloroso sherry casks in house?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't want to go out and just come up with an answer for you straight away when I haven't done all the proper research.
Yeah.
No, I feel very strongly against that. I know for a fact that the barrels themselves will be sent across for testing. They'll be sent from Jerez, not from Scotland. They won't sort of go via Scotland and get sent down. They'll get sent from our same supplier. They'll come in, and the team of master tasters will kind of check the barrels from impurities or the rest of the things. They'll still be wet with sherry when they arrive. And I don't know what volume they keep, Davey, at the distillery, but I know for a fact that they're not coming in huge volume because there's only 1 or 2 SKUs that actually require it. So they're getting first fill Oloroso sherry, and they're only observing about a year. It actually reminds me of Woodford Baccarat. Baccarat will age, those beautiful Woodford barrels will age 4 to 7 years in the Woodford cooperage. Sorry, not the cooperage, in the rickhouses, and then it will go into cognac for a year or two. So the amount of cognac barrels coming across is very minimal. It's just for this one project. So I imagine that they would keep, several stacks, but it's just for this release. There's no other sherry being used. I think I took a lot of time to not answer your question. That's what I did. John's eating that up. He's like, I told you.
That's all right, mate. This is your show tonight, so
Someone's still getting banana through all that Oloroso. No, sorry.
Did someone say that?
No, there's no banana. Not for me.
Ray, you out of anyone should know that the people's nose is their own, and I don't think it's
the nose knows.
The nose knows. I don't think that's incorrect. I mean, we got nerdy on our last chat. One of Andy's face. Now I'm speaking in third person. I've really cooked it. One of my favorite things is talking about isoamyl acetate. Isoamyl acetate is exactly the same compound as banana. I only know this because Chris Fletcher told me. I said, "Hey, Chris, the crowd's done asking questions, but I want to ask you one more." And he said, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Why do we get bananas in Jack?" I get asked all the time, "Is there something more scientific than we just smell and taste bananas?" And he said, "Andy, I've got a background in chemistry. Let me tell you, isoamyl acetate is exactly the same compound as banana. It's almost like a candied banana, right? And it emerges through sour mashing in particular. So when you've got your proprietary yeast strain, which we do at Jack, and you work with a sour mash fermentation cycle, the chance of that compound coming up is always there. And it's not always dependent on the grain type that you're putting through. So I'm not going to completely write that comment off and say that there's not banana. I think sour mashing and fermentation quite often will just bring through isoamyl acetate. Cheers, Andy. Everyone's asleep.
So, Andy, I think coming back to your point,
you did it.
Andy went to chemistry, and they all just pivoted.
I think to your point about this being a dessert, I think that's very true. I think it's very jammy. Is the kind of flavor that I get? It's that, like, it's not that it's just a pure whiskey, but it's got that Oloroso. I think gives it that jamminess, and the texture's still there, but I think you get that flavor that comes through that just gives you that extra depth or that extra character of that sweetness that comes through. It's really interesting.
And I was reading up on release articles of these. I know this is travel retail, so obviously bottled at 45% for consistency and all that. But the first release barrels of these, or release ones of them, I think the first one was like 52.9%. So it was. I don't even know if there was water added. I think it was just a single. I'll send you the document, Andy. No,
Is this the one?
The Oloroso.
No. Sorry, was it the one? The American single malt in this type of battle in the single?
No, it was just.
It was in the same. Cool.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty cool. So I would have loved to have taken in a flavour of that, but that was when it was
52.9,
2018 or something. I think they first released it. Wow, crazy.
I would love to try that. I mean, 45 is the sweet spot for me, and it's probably the reason, Luke, that it's got that desserty vibe. If you take it up to 52.9, it's almost like a serious whiskey, and Oloroso probably takes a back seat. So I'd be curious to taste it. An interesting tasting note that I came across was it's got cooked apple. It's almost got a kind of cooked apple-y spice to it. It's very desserty for me. It's got kind of like a little bit of a pecan nutty vibe in there as well. It's really like a versatile dessert. It's got nuts. It's got dried fruits. It's delicious.
Just like to read this reply to my banana note. Happy to be wrong, mate. All good. My dear, I'm the only one who's wrong in this situation, and the only one who doesn't get banana. Just defending my single stance.
Yeah, it would rock, Travis. You're not wrong there. I reckon it'll just be more bigger.
I got a little bit of spice on the tongue, but it's the sweetness and then the spice right at the end. Was
Dessert.
52 would smash it.
Especially after the rye.
Yeah.
For everyone on the call, make sure that you have a Tennessee whiskey on Thursday. We're doing this ahead of time, obviously, but it's a pretty amazing thing. And we didn't cover this at the start, Ray, because I think we were just, as we always do, we get into rabbit holes. We get excited. But the reason that we celebrate Whiskey Day was Volstead repeal happened in 1933, right? So you've got prohibition in the United States between 1920 and 1933, but you've got a separate Volstead repeal that happened in the Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee. So it didn't happen until 1937. So the rollout took an extra 4 years, and that's why it's kind of celebrated. The Tennessee Whiskey Day is about the fact that Volstead repeal took an extra 4 years to come out to the Tennessee area, and of course where they were legally allowed to celebrate with a dram again. So for anyone that was wondering, that's what we're celebrating on Thursday, is that we're allowed to drink Jack Daniels. And Nick, I will continue twisting your arm. Nick is the one that made me this, guys. This is how generous Tennessee Squires are. When I won Brand Ambassador of the Year in 2024, Nick came to one of my events and gave me this. It's seriously one of the most incredible gifts I've received. One of the first Tennessee Squires I met, actually, Nick. But yeah, what a legend. And I will continue to twist your arm, and you'll continue to twist mine.
Awesome. Well, I think we're there. We did it. We got through it. Fantastic.
All right. That's I think it's good. So what do we need to do now? Do we need to pick the winners now, or are we
no, we'll go through them all, and we'll throw them in a generator. But Andy, if you want to give the blackberry away to your favorite whatever it's got. Whoa.
Andy, I even made it easy for you. I pinned the comments that maybe up for choice.
Didn't even know we could do this
in chat.
Yeah. So click on chat and click on pinned comments.
Wow.
Yes.
Pretty much everybody who has had a comment is in there, but it's basically a short list of the names at this point and what I thought was the best.
All right.
Or comments in some cases.
And
you can see my 6 entries at the top. Yeah, my 6 entries there, just to blanket it to make sure you can see.
Man, there is some amazing comprehensive notes here.
And Andy's going down another side of a rabbit hole. We'll see you tomorrow, Andy.
Yeah. No, I think I've made a decision here.
You can cut
I
the
think
tension
we
with a
need
knife.
to give the bottle of Tennessee Blackberry to Travis Laurie. Just because, Travis, I can scan through as many comments as I want. And it's not just the fact that you've put nose, palate, and finish, but you've really gone into some incredible detail. Thick, oily, a hint of a burn, plenty of apple pie, drinking chocolate, and hints of sultana bread. You've really felt every bit of these whiskeys. So, Travis, I'm sending this out to you. Congratulations.
Well done, Travis.
I will get
On the
Ray or myself will get your details, and you'll be able to flex on having this before anyone else does. It's beautiful.
Actually, I'll see Travis in Canberra on the 27th of June. Correct me if I'm
Done.
wrong, Travis. Might be not the right date, but 27th of June. Travis is actually putting on a whiskey show called Whisky Capital. So
I've heard about it.
Still tickets and all. We'll put that on our page as well. We will be there as well with Adam Brands and obviously Whisky Wayfarers releases. We'll have a table. Come see us. Come have a dram with us. I'm pretty sure there's no strict rules, Travis, of me having a dram with the customer at the table. So I will partake in that with you all. Canberra on the 27th, I think it is. It's the Saturday.
Awesome.
2 sessions. So when I bring that to you on the Saturday, Travis, there may not be much left. No, we'll get it to you before then. Promise.
I'd love to jump in just before we close off the chat as well with the blackberry. This is for you, Travis, and for anyone else that's interested. Once the blackberry comes out in the next couple of months, it'll be available everywhere. It is so easy to make a good cocktail with the blackberry. It's literally a cocktail just waiting to happen. You put 30 mils or 45 if it's been a hard day, 15 mils of lemon juice. Please squeeze it fresh. And then just top it up with lemonade if you like it sweet, or with soda if you don't. It is literally a cocktail waiting to happen. Now, on the same note, if you like a bramble, if you like a kind of a whiskey cocktail with a little bit of blackberry, just make a whiskey sour and put in 15 mils of this.
Ooh.
So 45 mils of Jack, 30 mils of lemon juice, 15 mils of this, a little bit of egg white, alcohol or whatever. Shake it, shake it to wake it, not to put it to sleep. Ray will remember that one. And it's literally a cocktail just waiting to happen. It's beautiful. So Travis,
I would argue though that's too many ingredients. I would just go like 90 ml of Jack. I reckon that's the perfect cocktail.
Can't argue with you, John.
As long as you got ice.
So we are still running the other giveaway for I think the barrel proof rye. That'll probably be open until a little bit after the stream. So if you haven't already jumped on there and voted for your favorite on Facebook, I do urge you to get on there now. And I'll put the link up right here or scan the QR code.
Win yourself a bottle of the most epic single barrel proof rye direct from the United States.
Before we do go, we're currently sitting at give me just a moment. All right, so it's rye for the win so far. Just on the poll, by the way. In quick second place, Single Barrel Heritage, then Oloroso, and equally, the number 27 Gold is ahead of Sinatra and the 10-year. There you go. And Jack and Coke has 0 votes. I am Coke. I'm disappointed.
I'm leaving. See you guys.
Right, that's a pretty cool spread. And I see the gold come up from there, Andy. Like I said, I was pretty excited to put that on. When we're going through what we're going to put on for everyone to try, and just we picked all these different drams, and that's pretty cool to see that up there over Sinatra. That's
right.
Big.
Are they still doing the Year of the Dragon, whatever monkey golds, or not? Has that been discontinued to a degree?
Really, really good question. I've only heard this come up the other day, Jason. So I'm the first to admit it. I didn't know about this release until someone asked me about it the other day. So I'll find out. I've got you on socials. I'll stalk you.
He said that about the 10-year as well. Didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Not the country. I don't know anything about
it. I've only just heard about that release, Jason. So let me do a bit of research, ask some questions, and I'll come back to you for sure.
Sweet, all good.
Find out for you.
Yeah, easy done.
Awesome, cool.
All right. Well, I think that's good. Ray, do you want to close it off?
I was going to ask you the same.
Well, all right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, be it streaming live or joining us on the stream, you guys. And thank you, Andy, as usual, for coming on and entertaining us with beautiful stories and information about chemistry.
But honestly, also always super knowledgeable, mate. You're always always shines through. It's fantastic.
That is,
man,
absolutely lovely having you on.
Thanks, Andy.
And
Well,
honestly, everyone who jumped on and commented, and I know we had to bait you with carrots, but no, I'm joking. No, we love doing these things and throwing them out. So thanks for being part of it and joining and jumping on. Really appreciate it. We found out YouTube is more popular than what we thought, so we better do something about having YouTube channel.
Yes.
Look, I'm going to rework the poll system next time. I had about 15 minutes to get it working today, so next time I might have 25 minutes, and we'll maybe opt down of Facebook exclusive.
Cool. Ooh. And I can be really cheeky at the end here, hopefully, guys, and just say a massive thank you to anyone at home that's taken time on a school night. Not only a school night, but a Tuesday. You guys are unstable, just like us, so that's good. But to all the Tennessee Squires that have joined, thank you again, guys, for your amazing support. But to John and Ray, you guys are really the backbone here. You guys have put it all together. The Jack team, a couple of that will be on this call, Carla inclusive. We're very appreciative of the work that you guys are doing with this brand, and we'll do what we can to make these beautiful whiskies more available in Australia. It'll take time, but we're doing it. So trust us with it. But yeah, thank you again, guys, and Ray and John in particular. Love you. I'm like sandwiched between you on the screen too. It's very special. I feel very loved.
I think you're Jan Brady.
All right. Well, this seems like a good time to end the stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ray, Andy, everybody who joined us, and we'll see you next time.